I was raised to believe if you don't go to school, you can't get a good job. I didn't have a good job. I owned the company. You see, a lot of people think the problem's goals. I don't think so. I think the problem's over here. The problem isn't knowing where you're going, because I think we do have these dreams flying into our mind. The problem's knowing where we are. See, there's the problem right there, paradigms. It's the program that's controlling you. You'll find people that are absolutely brilliant, but they're not doing what they know. See, being brilliant isn't the answer. It's executing what you know that's the answer. That's really the trick of life. Learning how to do what you know how to do. And that's really where we're going. He said, do you ever read anything? And I said, no, I can't read. And that wasn't true. I could read, not well, but I could. I have found out that I read about as well as most people. Do you know the average person reads at about a grade 7 level? You watch their eyes, it goes click, 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 boom, click, click, click. They sound out mentally every word. A book is a picture painted in words, and you get the picture. Because that's what the book is. Words are symbols, and every symbol has corresponding images. You put the right words together, and you build images. The laws never change. This whole universe is run by law. The laws never change, ever. But they all buy into the same concepts. And of course, you can tell by the results they get. They get great results. Well, they won't settle for anything but what they want. Now, when you want something, you can't let other people's level of performance dictate your wants. You've got to get what you want. You've got to go after what you want. And sometimes you'll be considered unreasonable. That's okay. Don't let that bother you. What somebody else thinks of you is not important. It's what you think of you that's important. See, that's another part of the paradigm. I thought there was security in a job. You see? Now, if you think there's security in a job and you lose your job, you're toast, because then you're going to be totally demoralized. If you haven't got security inside, you haven't got it. It's an inside job. I'll give this up, but what about? No. Let go. When you're going ahead, the only thing you can measure is what you're giving up. What about what's coming? You know what's coming? What you want. But you've got to be able to pay the price. You've got to have guts. If you haven't got guts, you don't deserve it. You think when a person getting terrible results that they know they're doing something wrong. You know something? A lot of people don't know. It wasn't too long before I wouldn't have known that. They're getting bad results. They're trying to pretend like they're getting good results. They're putting on a front because they are afraid of what you think. I was at the point now where I really didn't care too much about what people thought. I was learning what was really important is what I think. The results always tell the truth. I don't care why you say you're getting them. The results tell the truth. What's going on outside is a reflection of what's going on inside. James Allen put it very well. He said, mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind. And evermore he takes the tool of thought, and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. We think in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but our looking glass. The world's telling us what's going on inside, because what's going on outside is a reflection of what's going on inside. If you don't like what's going on outside, you better change the inside. And if you don't know how to do that, you better learn how to do it, because the outside isn't going to change until you do it. You can blame other people. You can blame the company. You can blame the country. You can blame the politicians. If it's not going right outside, it's what's going on inside. This is very important we understand this. I remember when I walked in, there was a biblical quotation on the wall. It says, seest thou a man diligent in his business, and he'll stand before kings. and there was a picture of Earl being presented to Queen Elizabeth. So I thought, that's accurate, literally, right up to today. He was diligent in his business. Here he was, standing before the Queen of England. Now, some people say, well, that's no big deal. Well, but it makes that biblical quotation literally accurate. And I remember when I was leaving, I said, Earl, what's the big deal? He made me feel pretty comfortable real fast. He said, there isn't any big deal. He said, there isn't any secret. Now, of course, I knew that from his record, the strangest secret, the strangest secret. He says it's strange because there isn't a secret. He said, the real trick is to figure out what you love to do and then dedicate your life to it. And he started to teach me some things. And everything I had studied over 10 years, just, it was all coming together. I could walk by you and I can tell you what you're like. If we're in a dark room and I shook hands with you, I could describe your personality very, very accurately. What's going on the inside shows on the outside. That thing sitting in the chair with you, you call your body, it's an instrument of the mind. It obeys the operations of the mind. Your body tells a story. Life is very short. You're not here for a long time. You're only here for a short time. Every one of us are hardwired to do something phenomenal with our life. We're God's highest form of creation. We should start doing it. Hill points out right there, what do you need? You need specialized knowledge. Then he points out here, he said, before you can be sure of your ability to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent, you will require specialized knowledge. Ray pointed this out to me. He said, look at this. He said, the accumulation of great fortunes calls for power. Now, prior to that, what did he say? He said, you need specialized knowledge. However, down further, here he points out, the accumulation of great fortunes calls for power. And power is acquired through highly organized and intelligently directed specialized knowledge, but that knowledge does not necessarily have to be in the possession of the person who accumulates the fortune. Do you know what you need? You need a team. You need a damn good team of people, and you need to trust them. And if they betray you, you kill them. Mentally, they're gone from your mind. You do not let the betrayal stick in your mind, and you don't let them stick in your mind. You mentally kill them. Let it go. Forgive it. That's what forgive means, to let go of completely, abandon any situation. He said there's a three-step approach. It is what it is, accept it. It's either going to control you or you're going to control it. It is what it is, accept it. It's either going to control you or you're going to control it. Number two, harvest the good. Harvest the good. I love the term harvest. You can see yourself out looking for the good and bringing it in. Harvest the good. There's good in everything. And the more you look for, the more you're going to find. And number three, forgive all the rest. Forgive all the rest. Abandon, let it go. You don't have to carry it with you. You don't stop trusting just because you are betrayed. Mentally, let it go. You don't have to know how to do everything. Get your ego out of the road. Subject yourself to the brilliance of other people. Make up your mind what you're going to do, and then get really good at what you're doing. Absolutely tackle it. Get really good at it. This is very important. I want you to listen very carefully. Money is extremely important. Now, you do not sacrifice your integrity or your good name for money. As a matter of fact, if you do, you probably won't do as well. You've got to do it right. You've got to play by the rules. You've got to do it by law. But you've got to know that you are worth an absolute fortune. So you have to ask, what are you selling it for? Now, Hill talks about it, and earning money is a it's an attitude. He said, when money comes in quantities known as the big money, it flows to the one who accumulates it as easily as water flows downhill. Imagine that. Imagine water flowing downhill. No problem. It'll get around anything, go over under it, but it will get downhill. You know, he says there exists a great stream, an unseen stream of power. Now think of this. There exists a great unseen stream of power which may be compared to a river, except one side flows in one direction, carrying all who get into that side.
All right, guys, let's get started with today's call. Grand Rising, happy Tuesday. I'm super excited to be here. Let me clean up this camera a little bit. It's time for me to get a new laptop, honestly. I need the highest quality video when doing these calls. So I'm super excited to be back, guys. Man, I missed you guys. It's been a couple days since I've been on, but we are finally done with the tour. As you guys know, I was on tour for about 10 to 11 days. We hit about 7 cities in a matter of 10 days. It was absolutely amazing. I was so busy. So I apologize if I didn't get a chance to get on any calls, but I know we did about 2 calls last week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then I didn't get a chance to do a call yesterday because I was traveling. But we're back today and we got calls all week, family. So I'm here all week. Don't worry about it. I'm going to make up for all the calls that we didn't do while I was gone. But, you know, it was just a phenomenal tour. So many breakthroughs, so many great relationships were built, great events, started up in Miami. One thing that I am proud about is that every room was packed out, right? In Miami, we had 30 plus people. Orlando, we had 30 plus people. Charlotte, we had 60 plus. So did PA, had 60 plus. St. Louis, we had 40 plus, I would say. I think we had about 40 plus in St. Louis. So every single room was packed out. It was absolutely incredible. I got a chance to meet a lot of you guys as well. My brother Lorenzo in the chat, got a chance to meet him for the first time. So that was dope to meet you as well, bro. And got a chance to meet a lot of other people that, you know, are usually on Mornings with Nano. And I just get a chance to see their names in the chat. But now we got a chance to meet in person. We got a chance to break some bread, eat some food together, just talk and just more plan on how it is that we can, collaborate in the future, which is absolutely amazing. My sister Kita, got a chance to meet my sis Kita. Kita is one of my sisters, and she recently partnered up with us here in Alpha Society, and got a chance to meet her out in St. Louis, and it was absolutely amazing, which was great. So it was also just overall phenomenal tour. I love touring. Touring is one of my favorite things to do because at those tours, I get a chance to meet people in person, get a chance to obviously give people breakthroughs, answer questions, take pictures, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you for everybody that supported the tour. Thank you for everybody that was patient while I was on tour. I hope that while I was on tour, you guys were still doing the work, still pouring into yourself, still watching recordings, still doing what's required in order for you to grow. And I'm just very blessed, very, very blessed and highly, highly favored. All right, guys. So I'm looking forward to today's call. We have a good one today. And today I wanted to talk about an important topic. You see, I was like, okay, when I come back, what do I want to talk about, right? What's going to be one of my first topics, right? And as you guys know, right now, we're wrapping up the month of October, which is crazy already. That it's already October 28th. Dude, it is October 28th already. I felt like it was just the other day we were talking about, last 90 days of the year, October 1st, and now it's October 28th. Like this week, we enter November. It's wild. Next thing you know is Thanksgiving and Christmas is around the corner, and then 2026 is here, right? So, this is something that I want you guys to realize. Time is moving faster than ever. I don't know if it was because I was on tour or what it is, but it literally does feel like time is flying faster than ever. Right? Where was this time at when I was back in school, when I was in high school, right? When I wanted things to go by fast, but now I want time to slow down. Am I the only one? Put a 2 in the chat if you guys want time to slow down a little bit, because it almost feels like it's flying by, right? It feels like, yo, this is going so fast. And I just want things to slow down a little bit, so that way we can catch up. My sis Rosalind is here with us. Let's go. I see you, sis. It's so nice to meet you in person and finally get a chance to partner up as well. That was amazing. Great stuff. All right. I would have paid for this in school. Nah, for real though. I agree, Kelsey. I would have paid for this in school as well. But I'm grateful to be back, guys, for real. Let's get into today's call, right? So today's call, I titled it Broadcasting Your Future. Broadcasting your future. All right. And the core idea behind this that I wanted to make sure that we understood here was that you don't step into your future, you broadcast it so that you can bring it into your being. All right. Now, Neno, what does that mean? Right? Your dominant frequency shapes the opportunities, the people, and the results that respond to you. And I'm going to get deep into this today. So I want you guys to take notes, because I'm going to get into some deep trainings here today. So we're going to be talking about broadcasting your future, right? Because I know a lot of us, we have these goals, we have these dreams, we have these aspirations of what we want to accomplish by the end of 2025, what we want to accomplish in 2026, right? That's our future. But how do we broadcast that? All right. How do we broadcast that? How do we put the energy out into the world that is what we are living in, that is what we want? Because that's one thing, right? Wanting something is one thing, but getting yourself in the frequency to attract it is a whole nother thing. I'm gonna repeat that. Wanting something is one thing. Getting yourself on the frequency to attract it is a whole nother thing. Because everybody can want, but who's going to be willing to put themselves in the frequency to attract it? That's the key, right? Everybody wants. Trust me, we all want things. We have 100 plus people on the call right now. We all want. If I were to ask every single one of you, Myra, Jay, Eunice, Diamond, Michelle, Kelsey, Rosalind, Femi, Bam Bam, Pat, Claudia, all of you guys want something. We all desire something. Every single one of us. Nano wants something. Tito, Love, Visually Blessed. Every single one of us. Hilltop Rentals. We all want something. But there's a difference between wanting something and getting on the frequency to attract it. Because everybody can want, but who's willing to get on the frequency to attract it? And that's what I'm going to be talking about on today's call, because this is a very powerful topic for all of us to understand. All right, so I'm going to give you guys the 4 ways to broadcast your future into being. All right, the 4 ways. Give me a 4 in the chat box if you guys are ready to take notes. All right, because from this point moving forward, I want you guys to take notes, turn off all devices of distractions, make sure you're taking notes, and listen with the intention to apply, because this is going to be a very powerful training. Give me some 444s. Let's get rocking today, because it's about to get good in this call. All right, I got my iced coffee with me here. My brother Greg is on here with us. Let's go. I see you, bro. My sister Femi, don't matter that she just had a baby, she's still locked in with us. I love to see it. Let's go. All right, so the 4 ways to broadcast your future. Let's start with number 1. All right, you got to set the frequency. You must set the frequency. Nano, what do you mean by that? Write this down. Identity before action. Identity before action. A lot of people make the mistake of taking action, but they don't fix the identity first. And they're doing it backwards. You got to fix your identity first. You got to set the frequency first, which means that you must become energetically who you want to be before you can have what you want. You must become energetically who you want to be before you can have what you want. All right. So you got to get yourself on the frequency. Now, Nano, how does this work? How do we apply this? All right. You got to ask yourself these questions real quick. What emotions, what posture, what language, what energy does the future version of me have? When you think of the future version of Femi, when you think of the future version of Samuel, the future version of Deanna, of Bianca, of Kelsey, of Michelle, what emotions does that individual feel? What posture do they have? What language do they speak? What is their discipline like? All right. That is what's going to get you on the frequency. Remember, guys, let me tell you guys something. We can vibrate today at the same level that the future version of us is vibrating. We can do that today. We don't have to wait to get to the future to start vibrating and feeling the same exact emotions that the future version of us is feeling. We can feel those here today. Because guess what? If I were to ask you guys, what emotions are you going to feel when what emotions are you going to feel when you become a better version of yourself, when you hit that goal? A lot of you guys will be like, Nano, I'm going to feel grateful. I'm going to feel accomplished. I'm going to feel ecstatic. I'm going to feel abundant. I'm going to feel all these emotions, right? But you know what the thing is? Those same exact emotions that you would feel in the future, can we all agree that we can feel those here today? Type yes in the chat box if you know for a fact that today you can feel grateful. Today you can feel accomplished. Today you can feel excited. Today you can feel all the same emotions that you're going to feel in the future. You can feel those today, right? I can feel those today. I feel grateful today. I feel blessed today. I feel accomplished today. You know how good it feels to be able to get home after finishing up a 6-city tour in 10 days? After every single person that came to our business joined and all the great things, and that felt amazing. But what am I saying? We got to set the frequency. We got to set the frequency. And we got to feel those emotions today. And some of us, we may be wondering, well, Nano, I'm not there yet. I'm going through this, and that. I'm struggling with this, and that. You got to learn how to shift. You got to learn how to pivot. I understand times are tough for some people. Some other people are doing great things, right? Everything is based off of the frequency that you set. Because understand this, if it's identity before action, then if you're going through some tough times right now, it was the frequency that you put out that now is attracting the situations you have into your life currently. So there's currently people right now that are in momentum. Everything is working in their favor. They're expecting miracles and they're getting miracles. All right. Everything they're touching is turning to gold. Everything. They're on it right now. Everything for them is working. There's people like that on this call. But then there's also people on this call that may be struggling. They're dealing with financial problems. Nothing that they do is working out for them. All right. There's just struggles. There's mental battles. There's physical battles. Everybody is in different phases, but that doesn't mean that any one of us are better than others, because I was here too. I was struggling. I was going through some tough times as well. And then I also know what it feels like to be on top of the world and everything I touch turns to gold. So there's different people on today's call. But we need to understand this. Exactly. I love what you said there. The universe is responding to us, right? The energy that you put out is what you receive. So I remember that, right? When my thoughts weren't in the right place, where my emotions weren't in the right place, the energy I was putting out, I was receiving. I was receiving it. And that's why my finances weren't where I wanted them to be. The struggles I was going through was a reflection of what I was putting out. It's all a frequency. Everything in life is a frequency. It's all energy. Everything in life is all energy, right? The saying goes, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be blank. Finish it for me in the chat. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be blank. Finish it for me in the chat. It can only be transferred. We understand that, right? It can only be transferred. So what energy are we transferring into the universe, the world, into people, etc.? The energy we put out is the energy we receive. It's a law. It's a law. It's legit a law. What you put out is what you receive. It's called the law of cause and effect. It's called the law of transmutation. It's called the law of rhythm. These are the laws of life. So what you put out is what you're going to receive. All right. So we got to keep this in mind in terms of where we at. Based off of where we are in the year, we have to keep in mind, okay, what energy am I putting out on a day-to-day basis? Do an audit of yourself. Be real with yourself. Yo, Eunice, what energy am I putting out right now? Sophia, what energy am I putting out? Crystal, Kelsey, Mark Sanders, Prin, John, what energy am I broadcasting out right now? Is it positive energy? Is it uplifting energy? Is it abundant energy? What energy am I transferring out? What energy am I vibrating at the end of the day, right? What is that energy? Because whatever I'm putting out is what I'm going to receive. This is important that we all understand. So we set the frequency. We set the frequency. We are the ones that decide the identity. So if you woke up today, let me give you guys an example. If you woke up today and you woke up on time and you said, yo, I'm going to wake up at this time. You woke up, you got in prayer, right? That's why prayer and gratitude at the beginning of the day is one of the most important things that you can do, because guess what you're doing? You're setting the frequency high. You're setting the frequency high. So you get up and you're in prayer and you're thanking God. And you're praying and you're praying. That's one of the best things you could do. If then right after you do that, you grab the word, right? I know that not everybody's on the same season with their faith, but right now, reading the word is one of the most important things I believe in my life that everybody should be doing. And the first thing you do before you grab your phone, before you send out a text message, before you do anything is read the word. You're setting the frequency. You're covering yourself with the armor of the Lord immediately. Boom. Look at that frequency. Imagine you wake up and the first thing you do is prayer, gratitude, and Bible study. You're getting yourself at the highest level of consciousness and energy and frequency that you could get yourself on. You're set the frequency. Then after that, you get in the gym. You go in the gym. Now, not only are you spiritually aligned to start the day, but now you're getting physically aligned to start the day. Let's all be honest. How good does it feel when you wake up and you get a good gym workout? You get in the sauna, you sweat it out, you feel good, you get a good meal in. How many of us know how good that feels, right? That good feeling when you actually get a good gym session in the morning. Oh my God, there's no better feeling than that. Honestly, there's very few feelings that are better than that. Then when you actually complete, especially for me, because one of the things that in my life I've struggled with, and I don't even want to say I've struggled with, but I'm getting better at, is getting in the gym consistently. I have seasons where I'm very consistent, and then sometimes tours will throw me off, and then I'm back into it. So it's difficult for me sometimes. It's something that I'm currently working on, and I'm getting better every single day. But yo, I'm telling you guys right now, when I wake up and I do my prayer and I do my gratitude and I read my Bible and then I go in the gym and then I come home, and it's still 7, 8 a.m. And I'm like, yo, the day hasn't even started. Look at how much I've already done for myself. My frequency is at the all-time highest. Is at all-time highs. And then after that, guess what? On top of that, remember, we don't talk about this enough, but remember, the first meal that you feed yourself for the day is your fuel for the day. The first meal you feed yourself in the day is your fuel for the day. Because that's the foundation for your day. That's where all the energy that your body is going to derive from is from there. So what are you feeding yourself to start the day? Are you feeding yourself are you feeding yourself things that are going to bring you down, that by midday you're mid crashing, or you're going to feed yourself things that is going to push you through the whole entire day. These are all things we got to remember. It's all about the frequency. What's going to keep you vibrating at the highest level? See, for me today, I could be honest with you guys. I didn't wake up early today. I slept in today. I hadn't got a good night's sleep in literally like almost 2 weeks. So today I said, you know what? I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to catch up on my sleep, but tomorrow I'm back on it. Right? I can't sleep in back-to-back days. No, just sleep in today. Get your full 8-9 hours of sleep that you need. All right, I fell asleep early last night, 10, 11 p.m. Get your full 8 to 9 hours a day. Sleep in, relax a little bit, cuddle with the dogs, etc. I needed that for myself, right? I needed one day for myself. But guess what? Tomorrow we're back to waking up early. I actually do better without breakfast. Me too. I actually like fasting till midday, to be honest. I love fasting in the morning. Sometimes I don't have my first meal till lunch. Maybe I'll have a little protein shake after the gym, but that's it. And then guess what? You set that frequency for yourself. Everything changes. You read a good book, you listen to a good audio, et cetera, right? Right now, I'm currently mentoring somebody, right? I started my one-on-one coaching with high-level individuals, right? I got a multiple six-figure earner who's currently paying me to mentor him. And you know what's the funniest part about it? The same thing I teach you guys here today for free, I'm teaching him. But the thing is that it's daily accountability now. I can't daily accountability every single one of you guys because obviously it's a little bit different. He's paying me though now. But you know what he told me? I hit him up today. We've been working for a week for the one-on-one mentorship. All right. And this is outside of my company, outside of Alpha Society. This is just personal one-on-one mentorship. All right. I do it with high-level people because I can't do it with everybody. Right. So I only could do it with people that can afford to pay for it, obviously. He hits me the day after a week. He was like, yo, the book has been changing. The daily audios, the gym, like, yo, I haven't felt this good in a very long time. That was his text to me this morning. He said, the only thing I've slipped up on a little bit has been the Bible study. I said, no worries. We will talk about that today and we will adjust to it. But you know what I did for him? I'm helping him set the frequency. You must become energetically who you want to be before you can have what you want. Got to keep this in mind. You have to become energetically who you want to be before you can have what you want. So important. So number one is set the frequency. Number two is emotional alignment is magnetic. Emotional alignment is magnetic. Remember, guys, your emotions are your guidance indicators. They're your guidance indicator. So your emotions tell you what you are attracting. Now, I know I show this picture here a ton of times, but it's because this picture right here helped me understand everything about who I need to be and what emotions I need to vibrate on a day-to-day basis. The emotional guidance scale. Where are you on this guidance scale? I've memorized this, so I know where I'm at on a day-to-day basis. I know when I'm vibrating low. I know when I'm vibrating high. I know when I'm right in the middle. My goal every day is to vibrate between 1 and 4. That's the goal for me. I want to be vibrating between number 1 and level 4. That's my goal day to day. It's in my room and my daughter's room. No games. There you go, Femi. You understand it. Look at it. Pay attention to it. Read it. Number 1. If you want to be vibrating at the highest level every day, you want to get to the point where you're attracting everything in your life. And you know what's the beautiful part about it is that if you were to, right now, we were to all pause and we were to think about a time in our lives where we were feeling the best, we were making the most money, everything was the best that it's ever been. And if you were to go back to that and you were to think about how you were feeling during that moment, I can almost guarantee you that you were vibrating between levels 1 and 4 on this emotional guidance scale. You can't tell me that, yo, Nano, I was having the best time of my life and I was at number 22, which is fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, and victim. No. I'm telling you right now, if you were to think about one of the best moments of your life, where in business and life and a relationship and anything, all right, you ever been in a relationship where everything is just so amazing in that relationship? The love is incredible. You know, the way you guys, share moments together, everything, literally everything is incredible. You're at the highest level of that relationship. I know we've all had one of those relationships, right? If you look at it, you were vibrating at the highest level in that relationship, on top of the world, Pat. I agree. You were filled with joy. You felt free. You were filled with love, appreciation. Guys, this is where we gotta be. Your goal every day when you wake up, if you want to set the frequency, remember, setting the frequency is one thing, keeping it is another. What are you going to do every day to keep that frequency, to keep that emotion in point? How can you get yourself every day to feel, number one, where you feel joy, where you feel empowerment, where you feel freedom, where you feel love, where you feel appreciation, where you feel passion, enthusiasm, and positive expectation? How can you get yourself to that level every day? That should be your focus on today's call. Because you know what you want, but how can you set the frequency and keep the frequency over the next 30, 60, 90 days of the year? Because at this point, we only got 60 days left of the year, give or take, 60 or some days. What's going to get you to that level? And remember, every single one of us are different. All right. The thing that gets me vibrating at the highest level is waking up, doing my morning routine. All right. I know others that their routines are different. Everybody has their way of setting their frequency. Some people are going to do morning routines. Some people, the first thing they do is go to the gym. Some people are big on, listening to, worship music and Bible study and prayer, and everybody's going to have their way of doing things. But you got to find out what that is and stick to it every day. What is going to get you to vibrate at the highest level on the emotional guidance scale? And what is going to allow you to keep it? Because that's the key. That's the key, is the keeping it. We always heard it, right? It's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. It's not about the frequency that you get to, it's about the frequency you can keep. It's not about the rank that you hit, it's about the one you can keep. Everything in life is about what you can keep, what you can maintain. You can hit it, you can get to that level, but if you can't keep it, it doesn't mean nothing. Nothing is going to change unless you can keep it. My life shifted when I was able to keep the vibration long enough until my life changed. You guys want to know the secret right here on this call? I can end the call right now after this message right here. You want to change your life? Get to the frequency and keep it for 90 days. And I promise you, your whole life will transform. You will save yourself years and years and years of struggle if you do just that. I can end the call right there. Hey, get to the frequency, keep it. That's it. That's the call. That's literally how simple this is. Get to that high level of frequency. Find a routine, find something, a ritual that's going to get you to vibrate at the highest level every day, and keep it for 60 to 90 days, and watch who you become. Watch what you attract. Watch everything that happens in your life when you do that. But you know what's the issue? Here's the issue, is that people, they vibrate high one day, right? They vibrate up here one day, and then the next day they're over here. And then the next day they're back over here. And then the next day they're here in the middle. And then the next day they're over here. And then the next day they're back over here. It's too inconsistent. That's the problem. I can tell you right now, and this includes me, Nano, as well. Our problem as individuals is that our frequency is changing too often. One day we're up, one day we're low, one day we're in the middle, 3 days we're up, 5 days we're down, 3 days we're in the middle, and it's just too inconsistent. But some of you guys will probably ask, well, Nano, but that's life though. Life comes with highs and lows, and I understand that. But the special ones are the ones that are able to keep their frequency high in the midst of everything happening. Those are the ones that are able to keep the big success in life. That's the key. Because I get it. Trust me, guys. Look, if there's anybody that has empathy and that has compassion for people, it's me. Because I get it, because I've been there before. I know what it's like to have amazing moments. I know what it's like to have low moments. As a matter of fact, I still experience them to this day while knowing all this information. Think about this, guys. I'm the one that teaches this information. I know this information, and it's still hard for me. It's still something I still work on consciously. The only thing about me is that I know when I'm low in vibration and I know how to shift it. That's the only difference between me and some other people, is that I'm able to recognize where I'm at in life and my emotions, and I'm able to shift it a lot faster than others. All right. I could be there a day or two, maybe a week, and I'm out of it. I won't stay there for a month. That's not going to be me. Back in the days, I would be stressed out, depressed, fear, all these things for months at a time. Imagine spending a whole quarter stressed, depressed, worried, filled with doubt, blame, disappointment, pessimism, bored, etc. I get myself out of those things immediately. So, but the reason why I can understand is because I know some people don't even have access to this information. I know some people are now learning this information. And some of us, even though you've heard me teach this information, some of you guys don't even really understand this information as deep as you can get it, because guess what? You haven't applied it as much. I promise you right now, you get yourself to the point where for the next 60 days till the end of the year, you make it your goal. You know what? From this day moving forward, I'm going to vibrate between levels 1 and 4. I'm going to be right here. Blue and purple. These are the highest levels of the emotional guidance scale. If you can get yourself right here between 1 and 4, everything will change for you guys. I promise you. Because at these levels, you can only attract, right here, you can only attract positive things in your life. You can only attract the right people, the right situations, and the right circumstances here at this level. The emotions is everything. So what is going to get you to that level on a day-to-day? And how are you going to keep it? Remember, guys, it's not about just getting there. It's about how am I going to keep this vibration long-term? What am I going to do day-to-day basis to keep that vibration, to keep that frequency? Because that's what the future version of yourself is vibrating on. Think about it. The future version of yourself is always in joy. He's living in abundance. She's feeling great. She's confident, vibrating at all-time highs. Everything they're touching is turning to gold. They're in a state of gratitude. Their relationship with God is at an all-time high. Get there now. Vibrate that now. And you know what's another thing about the future version of ourselves is that that version of ourselves doesn't allow life to disrupt their frequency. That's the key right there. Doesn't allow because life is going to happen to all of us, guys. I need you guys to understand something really quick. If you guys think that because you make more money and because you have more accomplishments in life, if you think that the ups and downs are going to stop, then you're very delusional. That never stops. It never stops. I want you to know that right now. So if you're on this call right now and you're thinking that, oh, because I make more money, the problems are going to stop and life is going to stop lifing. Life is going to life for everybody. It's about how we manage the situations that happen in our lives that will determine how we able to keep the frequency. Trust me, my friends are all multi-millionaires. They're retired, living in their dream homes. They retired their parents already. They're living in their dream homes, driving their dream cars. And they still go through it just the same way we go through it. The thing is that they're going through it at a different level, at a different frequency. But when you get to these frequencies, nothing changes. You're still going to, remember, I always say this to everybody, right? Life is like this. It's called the law of rhythm. Your goal is to minimize those highs and lows, right? Because if you're like this, it's tough. But if you can get it where your highs and lows are like this, and it's just like a flow, and you can minimize the size of the highs and lows, and just not too low, but not too high. You're just always here. You're just here. It's just like this beautiful flow of life, right? Because the thing is, some of us, we're like this. This is us. I've been here before. My goal, the last couple of years, has been to get here. And I've learned it. I've actually learned how to do this right here. How to flow through life. But it took a lot of experience. It took a lot of highs. And it took very, very bad lows for me to understand life on a deeper level. And being conscious of my lows. One thing that I always teach is how you handle the lows determine how high you go next. So I started to handle my lows a lot better. I started to look for opportunities in everything that was happening in my life. I started to learn how to do that. Immediately, things started to shift for me. Now, I live my life like this. And I'll be lying to you guys if I said to you guys that there is times it goes low again, but I bring myself right back here. I bring myself right back here. Because like Ricardo says, there's peaks and valleys, but what if your valleys are just a little low and your highs are a little bit here and you're just here? That's the key. That's the key. One of my students, he has his emotions get the best of him. He has very high highs and then he has very low lows. And I tell him the same thing all the time. Yo, bro, we got to get you here, man. Sometimes I worry because sometimes I'm like, yo, your lows make me think that you're going to hurt yourself because of how low you actually get. We can't get that low in life. We have to get to this beautiful flow. But the only way we can do that is by awareness of our emotions and how to shift them. And not falling off of our routine. When I went to watch Tony Robbins, he talked about this. He talked about saying he got paid $1 million an hour to teach what I teach on Mornings with Nano for free. For my people that were on the call, I've taught the seasons, the frequencies, everything that Tony Robbins get paid $1 million to teach for an hour. I teach on Mornings with Nano for free. He got paid $1 million to teach what I teach for free. Now, obviously, he's Tony Robbins. He has incredible results, etc. The way he delivers the message, I don't take no credit off of that. He is a phenomenal speaker, and the way he delivers and the message and everything. But bro, almost, I would say 80% of what he taught that day, even though I knew that, a lot of that stuff, he got paid $1 million for that information. $1 million for 1 hour. Because that's the truth. That's the reality of the situation. Black, my brother, was good, bro. That's the reality of the situation. So remember, your emotional alignment is everything. That's number 2. Let's jump to number 3. All right. Number 3, you have to train yourself to broadcast a proper message every day. Remember, it's repetition over effort. Repetition over effort. It's all about repetition at this point. Remember, your frequency isn't set by effort, it's set by what you do consistently on a day-to-day basis. Bendiciones, my brother. God bless you, G. I'm gonna see you soon. I'm gonna be out there for Thanksgiving. We gotta chop it up. We gotta record that podcast, bro. Repetition is the key. Repetition is gonna be your best friend. This is why I always tell you guys, it has to be something we do daily, weekends included. My journal, where's my journal? Oh, my journal's somewhere in the room over there. My journal tells me where my frequency is because it shows me how consistent I'm being. For example, I've showed you guys this thing right here. Look at this. I use this with all my students. Some of you guys probably use this, some of you guys don't. I've shown this to you guys many times. This is how I make sure to keep my frequency and my repetition on point with the weekly rhythm register. The problem is a lot of us, we don't have an accountability partner. It's so much better to have an accountability partner. Think about the gym, right? A lot of us, we can go work by ourselves at the gym. But when you pay somebody, a trainer, to train you, you're really paying him for accountability and guidance and to push you. That's really what you're paying for. Guys, I've been an athlete my whole life. I know how to train by myself. I can get myself in shape by myself. But when I have that trainer there, there's nothing better than having my trainer. Still to this day, I prefer having a trainer over doing it by myself. You know why? Because by myself, I can cheat myself a little bit. I won't push myself as much. I won't do that extra rep. And guess what? And if I feel like slacking off one day, I'll slack off that one day. Let's all be real. Let's all be honest, right? When you have that trainer, it changes everything. It changed 1,000 feet. You remember that day, Z? Bro, it's crazy. I'll tell you guys a funny story. So my brother's zillionaire status that you guys see in the chat, we were living out in Arizona back in 2020. And we hired a trainer because I told Z, I'm like, yo, if we want to get in shape, bro, we got to hire a trainer. So we go to this gym and this trainer, bro, is like, he trains NFL athletes. So we go to this gym and this trainer starts to tell us like, okay, I need you guys here every day, 5 a.m. And we were going to pay him, I think it was $40 a session, $40 a session, 3 times a week. We had to pay him $120 a week. Me and Z, I remember. But we had to be there at 5 a.m. every morning. So me and Z are waking up every day at 4:45, 4:30, walking over to the gym. It was like a 5-10 minute walk. And the moment we got there, mind you, he wants to get Z in shape because Z was a little bit out of shape at the time. Bro, he would, you know, the Stairmaster, he would have us climb that every day. 1,000 feet or something. I can't remember what the exact number was, but I know that it was like 20 to 30 minutes of climbing to start right away. Mind you, I'm gonna be real with you guys. If I didn't hire a trainer, I would never climb that for 1,000 feet every day. That's just the reality of the situation. That's true. Here's another thing. When you know how people, 10 reps, 3 sets of 10, his things were like 3 sets of 25. I would have never done 3 sets of 25 if it wasn't for him. Yeah, it was insane the way he was training us. I remember that. And he would give me the weight. I'll be like, how much? He'll be like 20. And I was like, 20? I've never, my whole life, my whole career, all I was trained for was 3 sets of 10, maybe 12, the max. 40. It'd be like 40 reps of bench presses. And I was like, yo, but I would have to do it. Why? Because I had a trainer. The accountability was there. But let me tell you guys something. If it wasn't for me hiring the trainer, I would never do those things. Not because I'm lazy, not because I don't want to do it. It's just I don't have that level of accountability. That's why you got to pay for those things. We need accountability. So this sheet right here is my accountability sheet, because we don't have, remember, a lot of us, it's hard for us to find somebody that is on the same type of time as us, that wants to elevate, that wants to grow. So we need accountability partners. But sometimes we don't have accountability partners, so we got to find our own way of accountability. That weekly rhythm register was my accountability sheet. Every day I would check, okay, I would put the actions on the left-hand side, and I would check, yo, Nano, did you do your prayer today? Yes, check. Did you do your reading today? Check. Did you go to the gym today? Check. Did you check? Check. Did you call people today? Check. Everything. And then at the end of the week, I would see where I was slipping up at, what I was doing good, what I was slipping up on, etc. And now I can check myself. The problem with a lot of us is that you guys are messing up and slipping up week to week, and you're making no adjustments. You've been waking up late for the last 2 weeks and you haven't made an adjustment. You haven't picked up your Bible in the last month and you haven't made an adjustment. You haven't gone to the gym in the last couple days and you haven't made an adjustment. That's the problem. You're not making the adjustments. So the repetition is off. Some of us are slipping up in areas in our lives that we are not making adjustments in. We're not making the adjustment. So nothing is going to change. When you don't make the adjustment, things just keep spiraling. As a matter of fact, let me give you guys the reality of the situation. Because you haven't made the adjustment is the reason why you're struggling in the areas in your life that you're struggling. That's the truth. Because when I was struggling in my life and when things sucked for me, it was because I never made the adjustment. When I was struggling financially, you know why it was? Because I never made the adjustment to follow a freaking budget. That's the truth. That's the truth. When my business wasn't where I wanted to be, it was because I never made the adjustment. When I gained weight, it was because I never made the adjustment. I didn't make the adjustment. I found myself week after week not going to the gym, not going to the gym, not going to the gym. 3 weeks later, not going to the gym. 4 weeks later, not going to the gym. Then I see my little brother. My little brother tells me, yo, Nano, you're gaining weight, bro. What's going on? Damn. I didn't make the adjustment, little bro. That's why. So guess what? If you don't make the adjustment, it's going to catch up to you. In anything in life, in your relationships with God, with life, with your business, with your finances, in all areas, if you're not making adjustments, it will catch up to you. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. If you don't make the adjustments in how you eat, it'll catch up to you later. If you don't make the adjustments in how you manage your finances, it'll catch up to you later. If you don't make an adjustments on building your relationship with God, then don't be frustrated and mad when God is not showing up for you. When your prayers feel like they're not being answered. You're not making adjustments. You keep making the same mistake over and over and over and over again and expecting a change. That's called insanity. That's literally called insanity. Somebody that makes the same mistakes over and over and over again and expects a change. It's never gonna happen. Never. I'm sorry. Let me be the one to break it to you right here. It's not gonna happen. It's not. You have to make adjustments. The repetition is the key. Every day. Boom, 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 boom. Every day. Every day. Mind, body, spirit. Mind, body, spirit. Every day. Align the mind, body, spirit every day. Every day align it. Watch your whole life shift. Watch your whole life shift when you align that mind, body, spirit every day. But it's through the repetition of the information, the repetition of the routine, the repetition of the frequency, the repetition. But the thing is, you know what it is? Sometimes it's hard to repeat things when we're not making adjustments. If you know you're not waking up at the time that you're supposed to be waking up, make the adjustment. Wake up early tomorrow. That's it. You guys heard me on this call. I told you guys, yo, look, today I slept in. I caught up on sleep. But I can't go and wake up tomorrow again at 8:30. And then the following day at 8:30 and again at 8:30 and again at 8:30. I can't continue to do that because guess what? That's not going to help me. I need to make the adjustment, and tomorrow I got to be up early. Tomorrow I got to get in the gym. Tomorrow I got to make the adjustment. Every single one of us on this call, we all know, and let's all be real quick. Put a 2 in the chat if you too need to make some adjustments in your life as we're listening to this message. We have over 120 people on the call right now. I know all 120 of us, we have things in our life that we need to adjust. It could be financially, it could be spiritually, it could be in our relationships, it could be in our diet, it could be in our routines, it could be in our businesses. Every single one of us on this call right now have adjustments that we got to make. Every single one of us on this call. Over 120 plus on the call right now. We all have adjustments we got to make. I got my brother Sloppy on this call with me. I love Sloppy. Sloppy is one of my really, really good friends. We went out to a wedding in Malibu a couple months ago. And he told me, yo, I got to make a massive adjustment in my life because I got to lose some weight. 2 days ago, he texted me. He's like, yo, I'm down 45 pounds, bro. But you know, I'm going on his story. He's in the gym twice a day. He's changing his diet. He's working hard. He made the adjustment. And I'm proud of you, Sloppy. Thank you for making that adjustment. He's down 45 pounds. And if you see him twice a day in the gym, eating better, vibrating higher, doing what he's required. Can't wait to see my bro this week. We're going to go play some golf. We're going to go play 18, etc. But he made the adjustment. If he had not made the adjustment, he would still be where he was 2 months ago. But he made the adjustment, and he's down 45 pounds in a matter of 2 months. Guys, I promise you, if you guys start to make adjustments, things will change for you. You got to make the adjustments. So many of us on this call right now, you are literally one adjustment away from shifting your life. The blessing that you're looking for in life is literally an adjustment away. I'm going to repeat that again. The success and the blessing that you're looking for in life is one adjustment away. You just haven't made the adjustment yet. You haven't shifted it. In baseball, I play sports a lot, right? In baseball, in basketball, in golf, in soccer, and everything, in sports. If you don't make the adjustment, then you'll keep missing the mark. You'll keep missing the ball. You'll keep shooting the ball and it won't go in. In tennis and everything in life is all about adjustments. If you don't make the adjustment, think about it in basketball. If you keep shooting the ball and you keep missing left, you keep missing to the left, and you keep shooting it the exact same way and you keep missing it, and you never make an adjustment, then you'll never make the ball in the basket. But if you make the adjustment and you're like, okay, I'm shooting to the left, let me align it a little bit more, and you shoot it in. And here's the thing. It's not about just making the adjustment, it's keeping the adjustment. The reason why players like Stephen Curry, we all know who Stephen Curry is, right? The reason why he's the greatest shooter in the world is because he makes the adjustment when he shoots, and he's mastered his touch. Same thing with golf, Tiger Woods, same thing with baseball, everything, every sport in the world, everything in the world requires adjustments. If we don't make the adjustments, then we will keep getting the same result. Some of us on this call, we are exactly where we were back in January, if not worse. You know why that is? Because you didn't make the adjustment. And the people that are having a great year and the people that are having their best year yet is because they made an adjustment. That's literally the difference between somebody who's having a great year and somebody that's having an okay year or having a bad year. It's the only difference is who was able to make the adjustment. Can everybody type adjustment in the chat box for me? Because that's the name of that we could have named this call adjustment, because we got to make those. We have to. It's so important. All right. And then the last thing right here. Number 4, calibrate daily. How to calibrate daily. No, what do you mean by that? This requires maintenance. This life that we're on requires maintenance. There's going to be a lot of things that happen throughout our lives. So we got to calibrate it. We got to align it again. We got to keep the alignment. Calibrate yourself. Yo, at the end of the look, guys, you can calibrate yourself right now on this call. Ask yourself, yo, did I do what I was supposed to do this morning? It's about to be noon for me. Right? It's 11:30 in the morning for me right now. 11:37. Calibrate yourself right now. Yo, have I done what I'm supposed to do? Number 3 was you could just put repetition over effort. Repetition over effort for number 3. But calibrate yourself. And you could probably put adjustments, honestly, for number 3. Repetition over effort, but you got to repeatedly adjust. That's the key. But calibrate yourself daily. Alignment check-in. Align yourself. Yo, it's noon. For my people on Eastern time, it's noon. Check in real quick. Yo, did I do everything possible this morning to get myself to a high vibration? To get myself to that vibration and to that frequency to have the best day ever? It's a question you got to ask yourself. You're on the call, and I love that you guys are on the call. I appreciate you guys hopping on the call. This could be a part of your daily audio. But did you do the work when no one was watching? Because that's the work that matters. I see you guys in the chat. I see you, Crystal. I see you, Carmen. I see you, Rich. I see you, Susan. I see you, Sophia. I see you, Diamond. I see you, Michelle. I see you guys on the call. But remember, it's not about the work that people can see. It's about the ones that we do when no one's watching that matters. I appreciate that I can see you guys on this call right now. And it tells me that you guys are committed to hearing the information. And maybe you just needed to hear it to get back on track. But remember, it's not about the work that people can see. It's about the work that people don't see. It's the work that's done in the dark. This is my second lesson this morning. Sheesh, you on it, bro. This is the work that matters. So check in. Let's check in. How do I feel today? Where am I today? And where do I need to adjust? That's the biggest question I want you guys to ask yourself today. And I'm going to wrap it up with this. What do I need to adjust to get myself to a higher frequency? That's the question we should all ask ourselves, and we should reflect on once this call finishes. Where do I need to adjust? And think about this. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you adjust your mornings, the rest will take care of itself. Is there an adjustment cheat sheet? I wish there was, honestly. I may have to create one, honestly, because there's adjustments we got to make. And even me, Neno, myself, I got to make adjustments. One of the adjustments I got to make is I got to get back in the gym tomorrow. I haven't gone to the gym I was on tour for 2 weeks. I didn't go on. So probably like 3 weeks. I haven't been in the gym in 3 weeks. And no excuses. I could have done push-ups. You know how it is. At the end of the day, there's no excuse. I just didn't do what I was supposed to do. So tomorrow, when I wake up, I got to get there. Because the thing is, if I don't do it in the morning, it's hard for me to do it during the day, because once my day starts, it goes. I got calls at 12, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. That's it. I can't, I literally physically won't be able to do it in the afternoon or in the nighttime, because my afternoons and my nights are literally dedicated to business, etc. So I got to do it in the morning, which means I got to get up early. I got to do it. There's no excuses. If I don't get up early, I miss my chance to work on myself. That's a sacrifice. That's a sacrifice every day. Am I going to sacrifice sleeping in, or am I going to sacrifice getting up early on time so I could be able to work on myself? Because if I don't work on myself, I'm not vibrating at my highest level. There's two people. There's the person that wakes up on time. There's the person that sleeps in. I can almost guarantee you the person that wakes up early and does what they're supposed to do vibrates higher than the person that chooses to sleep in. And that's the reality of it. And that's how you guys are going to get yourself to that high frequency to attract the future version of yourself. So that's my training for today, guys. I know I went a little bit longer than usual, but give me a 444 in the chat if you guys got value from today's training, right? That's the key right there. I want to get you guys to just understand this information. When do you go to sleep? My goal is to be asleep no later than midnight. That's me. Midnight is the latest. The goal is really to be asleep by 11 p.m. so I could be up by 6 a.m. and that gives me a solid 7 to 8 hours of sleep, right? The ideal time for me to be asleep is 10, 11 o'clock. 12 is already, it's late. Like midnight is, it's like the alarm is going off. You're past your bedtime, you're past your bedtime, you're past your bedtime. That's the latest I could go to sleep because if I get up at 6, at least I got 6 hours of sleep. But remember, sleep is important. So the ideal time I would want to be asleep by is 10. So I could get a full 8 hours from 10 to 6 a.m. 11 is middle point. 12 is already, nano, you're cutting it close. Like if I go to sleep at midnight, 1 o'clock, then you can almost guarantee that I'm probably going to have to, get a little nap between the day so I can keep myself up. And remember, that's me. Everybody has different schedules. Everybody has different work schedules and etc. But if you know you're staying up late watching Netflix and binge watching, look, guys, I'm guilty of it. I've done it many times, bro. I know I got to be up at 6 a.m. and I'm binge watching a show at midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And it messes up my whole entire day the next day because I'm up binge watching a show. Who else can relate, right? We've all been there. I don't even got to ask you guys because I know you guys have been there. We got to have discipline. We got to have discipline. Because if it's going to affect our vibration, it's not worth it. No show on Netflix is worth me risking my vibration that's going to get me to where I want to go to. Let me get to where I want to go to, and then I can spend all the time in the world binge watching shows. You know what days I dedicate to binge watching shows? And you guys ever want to come hang out with me and binge watch? Saturdays are those days for me. Saturdays are days for me to binge watch. But Monday through Friday, I got to be on point. Tarinthia said, sleeping late is the worst habit I'm dealing with. And I'm telling you, Tarinthia, that's probably the thing that's holding you back right there. Start going to sleep early. Start waking up early. Watch what that does to you. Shifts everything because let's all be honest and real right here. When we stay up late, we're for the most part, nothing we do is productive when we're up late. Unless you're up late studying and building a business late night, etc., then I would call that productive. But if we're just staying up late to binge watch and watch TV and hang out and smoke weed and drink whatever, that is extremely unproductive. Guys, we are all the same. All right, I want you guys to know that we are all the same. Yeah, if you were watching last night's game, I don't blame you, bro. That was a good game last night, right? Last night's game with LA and Toronto, they went, how many innings? 18 innings, something like that. That was incredible. It was 11:50 in LA when it finished, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. That's like 2 a.m. for us here in Eastern time. But guys, I've been there. I've been the one who stayed up 2 hours at night scrolling on my bed like this, just scrolling on Instagram. I've done it too. That's the thing. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be on your bed like this, laying in bed like this for 2 hours just scrolling, watching videos. To the point where the phone screen burns my eyeballs. I know what that is. I've done it too. Don't feel bad. But you know what it is? I make the adjustment. Make the adjustment, guys. When I'm up scrolling, that's unproductive as hell. That's not paying me. That's not doing anything for me. All I'm doing is watching a bunch of funny videos, watching sports, doing things. Make the adjustment, guys. All right. So with that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Let's go make adjustments. It's October 28th. It is a Tuesday. We're about to enter November. We're literally coming up on the last 60 days of the year. But I can tell you guys this. We can do in 60 days what we haven't done all year. If there's ever a time for you to be on point, it has to be now. make sure that these next 60 days are the most on point that you've ever been, because it will determine the frequency that you enter 2026 in. You do not, under no circumstance, listen to me, what I'm going to say right now to finish this call. Under no circumstance do you want to be the person that enters 2026 at a low vibration. Don't be that person. Don't be the person that enters 2026 filled with shame, filled with guilt, filled with all these emotions that don't align with the future version of yourself. Be the person that enters 2026 vibrating at the highest level, feeling good, feeling blessed, feeling accomplished, consistent with your routine, connected with God, everything. And watch the year that 2026 is going to be for you. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Sorry that I went long. I know it's my first day back, so I kind of got a little bit excited and talked more than I was supposed to. But I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your days. I got a lot of amazing lessons all week. I planned out the next couple weeks for us. And let me tell you guys, I got some fire lessons for all of you. So please don't miss it. And if for whatever reason you got to miss it, then please catch the recording. All right, guys. So I'm going to do a little prayer for us with respect to what everybody believes in. And then we'll go from there. Quick prayer. Everybody bow your heads. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you so much for waking us up on this beautiful Tuesday morning. So excited to be back, pouring into the family. So I want to thank you for allowing me to get home safe. But we're back and we're pouring into the team. And we just want to say thank you, God, for the lessons. Thank you so much for the guidance, the love, the protection, and everything that you're doing. Thank you for the healing of each and every single one of the individuals that are on this call listening. We have hundreds listening as we speak. And I know that you're healing us. I know that you're protecting us. I know that you're giving us the strength to show up each and every single day. Continue to do it, God. Everything that we're doing is for your praise and for your glory. And we're going to continue to build the kingdom. We're so excited for what the next 60 days are looking like for the rest of the year, and everything that we're going to do it to continue to build the kingdom, God. So let's go out there. Let's have a productive day. Let's grow. Let's become better versions of ourselves, and everything that we do, we're going to do it for you, God. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. In God's name we pray. Amen. 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 Amen, Hazel. Amen, Blue. Let's go. Great day, great call, great frequency. We vibrating high. Go out there, do what you got to do. And last but not least, make the adjustments. Tell them to make the adjustments, Hazel. Make the adjustments. Hazel says, make the adjustments. Okay, let's go. All right, I got to go walk the puppies. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. Y'all already know. God bless.